Hey, this is Aaron with the Soft Serve Podcast. Today with us, we have...
The Cookie Snatcher.
Z Money.
And Dirty Dan, I'm still alive, bitches.
You were only missing from one episode.
Yeah, well, you said I was dead. You said I was a light-skinned
Well, I
guy
guess we
who
solved the... I guess
slipped off on a plane because of my sweaty feet.
Guess we solved the
I
mystery
wish you
there.
would have stayed
There's
that way.
really no mystery.
Well, you heard it here first, folks. Dan Timbers is actually alive.
I brought
He was
him back
never
to
dead.
life.
This is a bunch of fake
Yes, he
news.
was dead.
He was actually dead. Oh, you are a necromancer. You are
what?
proficient in necromancy?
I'm
yes.
thinking it.
Oh, what I'm answering?
He's a what?
I'm a necrophiliac.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh, I had sex with Danny's dead body several times.
wow.
Well, when you're dead in the heart, it's just sex. But
It's not love.
That's a Danny quote right there. When you're dead in the heart,
It's not love making.
it's just...
All right.
starting off strong.
starting off strong here.
It's a
But,
good day. It's a good day.
It's a good day. It's a Thursday.
It's a
and
big
those are
week.
pretty good days, but it's also it's a huge week. It's graduation tomorrow, guys.
Day after tomorrow, dumbass.
What's
That's
tomorrow?
Oh.
Oh.
There we go. I'm gonna add a mic drop effect in there. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Superman would beat Batman.
Well, yeah. So we have 3 graduates. One of them is currently AFK, but 2 of them are in the room right now.
Look him up. Great guy. Best host. we've ever
Right.
had.
Not probably second best. Yes.
I actually think he's the best host we've ever had.
Yeah, I would say out of the two, that
well,
one's definitely come out superior.
I don't
That
know.
would be Quincy.
I mean, have you ever seen an 11-year-old be this efficient at hosting?
I have actually.
Quincy looks like he's 2.
Oh, so you're saying he's better because he's 2?
Yeah. If a 2-year-old run a podcast, be a little more impressed than
Yeah.
Then
Can we cut all this out?
But yeah. So congrats, Zack.
Thank you.
For graduating. Congrats, Danny, for finally making it. I'm surprised he didn't.
finally making.
Well, I thought you were gonna die and drop out at the same time.
there have been,
And then
I've done neither so far, so.
Quincy as well. He's also graduating. So you guys did it. You know how are you celebrating your
Partying
adulthood?
at my place.
Right after this.
Yeah.
I mean,
All right, guys. Did you heard it here first? You'll hear this later, but if you still show up, there might still be a party.
Yeah. I was actually about to say our address, so I'm happy I didn't. Back door's always open though, so.
So you're gonna have like stuff for your family and
Yeah,
party
so
and such.
since they only live 2 hours away, they're just going to drive down for the day. And then we're all going to go back up tomorrow night. I'm going to spend the weekend there, and we're going to do something Saturday. My mom likes catering food or something and stuff like that.
Oh, that's
Something
fun.
pretty low-key. Not too
Low-key, yeah.
not too crazy.
And Danny, yourself?
What am I doing afterwards?
Yeah, are you celebrating anyway?
Yeah, tomorrow. So it's kind of been like a week of celebration, just with like classmates and everything. And then last weekend was my brother's graduation.
Right.
So we got to celebrate that weekend. And but yeah, it's gonna have family from out of town come in. There will be drinks and food and all that dandy stuff.
Well, that Danny stuff. Cool.
Dandy.
You did. Yeah, but it sounds funnier if you say Danny. And then, and our boy Quincy, I believe he'll probably be out celebrating. He's actually getting food right now, so sure he's already starting early.
Mm-hmm.
But it's nice. We'll be you guys have graduation tomorrow during the midday, right?
Yeah, mine's at 1:30.
During the midday.
Mine's at 1:30. I think that is at 2.
So how are we gonna make it to both? This sounds like a two prom
I don't
date
know.
situation.
Just going to have to pick.
I mean, Quincy and I are both at one, so.
Oof.
But I'm first, so you can get out of
You
there
think
earlier.
I'm gonna watch my little boy walk?
Who's your little boy?
You, baby boy.
Oh, that was cute.
I'm gonna cry.
You're gonna cry? I have. You know they sell fake tears at Rite Aid.
I know, I get those all the time, dude.
It's my real ones right now.
Yeah.
Using to fake a nut. Speaking of which.
Oh my god.
That's the podcast.
That was his 1 minute shout out to Quincy there. But Yeah, so we're gonna try to make it to all your graduations tomorrow. I know we all each have someone that we
You're
have to
talking
go
like
see.
an uncle right now, and it's actually kind of just.
This is exactly how you described me in the first
Hey
one.
guys,
Why do you always assume I talk like an uncle?
let's talk about your graduation times. And,
Yeah.
are you
I'm excited.
What are you doing?
Yeah, I'm playing.
Danny, what more do you
just trying
expect from the kind of show that Aaron runs around here?
I don't know. That's why
I
we
run a
need
tight
host
ship
like
around here.
Quincy or I don't know, a strong voice like Austin James Myers.
Yeah. Well, all I'm saying is that it's a great weekend. It's a time for celebration, and you're all finally moving into the world of careers, and actually
Almost.
working, and no more homework.
Well, almost.
No.
Yeah.
Almost, yeah, I guess.
In the near future.
In the near future. At some point, do any of you guys have plans for graduate school? Or
Yeah.
I've been thinking about it.
yeah, I have as well. I graduate in the fall, so I don't have the luxury of no more school, but we'll be
I'm
there
in the
soon.
same boat.
Oh yeah, we'll have each other, Austin, and we can
Yippee.
finally hang out for once.
Hey, I won't be a ghost anymore.
Yeah.
I'm not in the show anymore.
Yeah. So,
Although I am I came up with an idea. I think I'm gonna over this summer I'm gonna put together like
a crew.
a crew, the infrastructure to like put on this cabaret, but have it be like episodic and have it be like every No Shame.
Yeah, like No Shame is a theater VCU's kind of what are they called?
It's a variety show.
Variety shows.
Yeah, every other Friday during the semester. But I'm gonna see if I can like over the summer put everything together so that have everything written and then actually like write it and have it tailored to the space
Okay.
and like literally have everything planned ahead. That way I just need to find people and
To act in it.
and time. But everything will be it'll be able to be put together hopefully
Okay.
easily. But that's what I plan to do next semester since I'm not doing a show.
Let's find ways to occupy your time. Kind of. Yeah.
And I think I came up with a pretty funny idea for a political like satire cabaret.
Okay. Yeah. I saw one of your previous cabarets and they're pretty good, but Jesus Christ. Danny, you okay back there?
Yeah, no, I'm great. I'm doing great.
He's just getting choked up, guys. He's not.
There's a lot of emotions.
It's a lot
in
of
this room
emotions
right
running
now.
in this
It's a lot of great things going on
great
these
things
days.
going on.
Yeah, no, it's happening. It's exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I started, my
Tearing
imagination
up,
started
yeah.
running,
Right.
and I started thinking of something that would be funny that I'm not going to discuss, and
Okay.
You're not going to discuss.
Because it's
I'm not going
disgusting.
to discuss it. But it reminded me of when Austin and I used to think or say inappropriate things, and look at each other and start laughing, and we couldn't control it.
You use the word "used to" as if it's past tense. But
I mean, it just happened,
It just happened, but that's
but it used to happen on a
harkened
daily
back.
basis.
well, it's the times
To
like
olden
this that just
times.
that brings back the older times at the start of all of this when it all began and
when an 11-year-old
when an
got
11
into a
yeah when
glass
when an
bottle and
11-year-old got
sat on
to
a-
adults party.
Have we talked about on here how we each met?
Mhm.
Did we?
Very briefly,
so.
probably in one of the first three, I believe we mentioned our origin story.
I thought we
How-
all described how we
Came
no,
into
I
the
think
group.
We did.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I remember talking about it.
Was I there?
It was one of the first few, I believe. So
Oh,
It was
well, then, yeah.
Should've been in the first
two or
four.
three, I think.
Well then, yeah, I was there.
yeah, but I guess to go back even further before all this began, talking about high school and then finally coming here, that was a big change. I feel like, did you guys expect your college experience to be
yeah,
exactly what it is?
I think like graduating, it's kind of the same experience right now where we were when we were graduating high school. It's like, okay, now I did all that. Like for high school, it's the 4 years too, and it's like, okay, now what am I doing now? And because it's diving into the unknown of adulthood and responsibilities and a whole different kind of lifestyle. So it is that same kind of like exciting but yet scary feel, and yeah.
I mean, would you feel like it would be different had you known what it was going to be like, what college is going to be like?
Would I have made a different choice?
Yeah, like after experiencing it, how many things would you have changed?
So, short answer, nothing. But I think previously when we talked, I think what I really thought would be interesting would be like if we all took and like reflected on like our experience and everything. We're like, okay, if we were going to go back to graduation in high school, if we knew our outcome and everything like this, and we couldn't go down the same path, what path will we go down instead of like our 4-year college?
The alternative choice.
Yeah, like what would your alternate choice be?
So like this is a set reality, and now you're like,
yeah, so
well, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah, so you can't say the whole like, oh, I wouldn't change anything because I love what I have.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't change anything because I love.
Yeah, I fucking.
Oh my god,
But,
you just
So you're
fucking.
meaning like, so you're going back, you're so let's say
you already know this whole path.
So let's say you have to go back to like halfway through your senior year because like that's when you applied and got accepted to VCU.
Yeah.
So you can't go to VCU. Are you saying that like as part of the hypothetical?
Or you could go to VCU, but like you're maybe not doing the theater program.
Yeah, you wouldn't. You would be history or whatever you were planning on doing.
But I still think that's too close. I feel like to like because I feel like.
Yeah, let's do if we didn't go to VCU.
Yeah, I feel like it's
Okay.
it's more interesting because I could like if it was just if I went to VCU if I did anything differently it'd just be I would have had a different major.
Yeah,
but
then that could have been different friends but I completely agree.
But if it was like instead of going to VCU, and knowing like what came of college, and like where I'm at now and thinking of something different, where I would have been, or what I would have done. From that point. Yeah, it's interesting let's talk about that. Yeah, so that's like halfway through your senior year, around the time you would have like applied to, got accepted to VCU. Danny, what would you have done differently, knowing everything you know
honestly, I think I would have. So I probably would have like graduated, not gone to college, and I would have probably like I used to work at like a restaurant, and I'd probably continue working there for a couple months and saved up like a good chunk of money. And then I think I would have done like a volunteer program, like the Peace Corps or something that was like a 2-year commitment. It's either that or I would do like one of those. I honestly think it would be something similar where it would have been like one of those like volunteer programs focused on like agricultural approaches and everything in different places. Yeah. Again, I for 4 years though, I guess like where would I be now? So, I mean that could be like. That would be like 2 years or something, and then after that, I honestly don't know what I would do.
Yeah,
I'd probably move back home and then end up working again, and probably have that cycle of keep trying to do that. I don't know what I would do for an actual career.
What about you, Aaron?
I probably would have gone to Florida Tech and just did truck engineering, and I would have. I don't know if I would have hated it. One, being in Florida, I would have obviously made different types of friends. Two, it's in Florida. I'm not exactly sure, like, how I would enjoy just the environment itself. I mean, everyone jokes about how crazy Florida is and, like, regards to everything else. So, I don't know. I think I would have had fun going there. And like, I mean, one, it's a nice area where Florida Tech is. I can't remember exactly which city it is. But... Two, I would have just had like probably just strictly engineering friends, and interesting to see what my free time would be like.
Yeah, I was gonna say
in
what
those
do you think
classes.
your like hobbies and stuff.
I mean, like when I was in like Calc 2 and physics and such, like I didn't have any free time. Like I had labs, I had homework to do all the time, and it was like even hanging out with you guys, I would still try to do it just by like hanging out in the dorms. I'd be like come by and say hi, but I always had a lot of work. I'd probably be like what Zack was like last semester.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the last like 2 years.
Yeah, exactly like that. But in terms of experience, like going out and such, probably wouldn't have. I probably, honestly, my sophomore year, I probably would have rushed just for the idea of being like, at least I could have some social club. And as an engineer, because I'd be like too worked up with time. I'd like, I'll try to do this commitment, but I'm not even sure how that would work. I'd probably be better in an academic fraternity than doing one that's for social. But that's honestly how I would see. Yeah, that's how I would see it going, personally for me. And then I probably would have gone into an engineering firm and gone to mechanical design. So that would
What
have
about
been.
you, Zach?
I do that with you.
Yeah.
Wow.
It looks like a group bonding exercise that Danny's showing.
Looks like doggy style.
Zach.
That's pretty good.
Phone.
I would. So senior year, looking back, I would invest all my money into cryptocurrency and be rich as fuck not to do shit.
Do you think you actually would have done that?
Oh yeah, because I remember.
Because if he knew everything he knew, because you're saying if he knows everything he knows now.
Yeah, if
I didn't think about that.
back in time, I remember when Bitcoin was like $200. Now it's like 10,000. So just imagine if you put in like a couple things and just like, holy shit. Like I remember people like talking about it, and it was kind of like, because I was in like a computer science class and all those guys knew about that stuff, and they would just like briefly talk about it, and no one really knew what the fuck it was.
Mm-hmm.
But nowadays it's like everyone kind of knows what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess my real answer would probably be, I don't know, probably, I'd go to like a big school, I guess, like a huge school.
Like Arizona.
Yeah, like a party school.
Why not SEC schools? Those are pretty big as well.
I just want
Like
to go.
when we went to West
Bama?
Virginia, I could see you going
Yeah,
to a school like
Bama.
Oh, did you say ACC or SEC?
that. SEC.
SEC. Oh yeah. Well, yeah. But West Virginia's ACC, I think.
Mm-hmm. But I meant like the school.
You
Yeah, I
could
guess
see,
I
you
see
could
what
see
you're
me
saying,
going to West Virginia.
West Virginia, or like you were saying. No, I wouldn't say Bama. I'd say I would honestly say like Miami
Yeah.
That's
or
another ACC. Yeah.
anything like that. But
yeah. I would.
hang out with Flo. Right?
I think JMU.
Jamie's not as
I couldn't
we'll
see
say
it.
it is.
Oh, personal take.
But ODU.
I like JV.
ODU shit. That's why I left.
Drop the bomb on ODU.
Yeah, I do think after like if I did something for like 2 years, I would probably try for. I don't think I would go for like a big university. I think I'd rather go for like a specialty school.
Mm-hmm.
Like even if it was something like as simple as like hair cuttery or what?
He's just listening to you. It's just
Yeah.
it's interesting.
Yeah,
You said you'd go to trade school for hair cutting?
that's like a specialty school.
Yeah, trade school.
Yeah.
I'm just picturing you like some really flamboyant gay guy cutting hair.
Oh, just like have you guys seen the new Queer Eye?
Mm-hmm.
So they brought it back on Netflix,
What is it?
and there's one guy who does hair cutting, and he's like super eccentric and like really into what he does, and he's also does hair, and I could definitely see Danny doing that.
No, I'd actually want to one day.
You're like the protagonist in Kangaroo Jack.
Like, a shout out to Kangaroo Jack, which has a sequel.
Are you serious?
Yep. Hold
I
on,
didn't
let me
know
show you. Yep. Hold on. Let me find out what it is, but
Oh, it's
Yeah.
animated.
yeah, it's animated.
That's
the-
how you know it's bad.
What?
Kangaroo
what do you mean? Original
Jack,
Kangaroo Jack
Good
had an
Day,
animated
USA.
kangaroo.
If the sequel is a
That
whole
is so
completely
funny.
different type of animation style.
Yeah.
The first one
my
wasn't.
god.
Yeah, it was. It was like
No,
look
the
at that.
first one was
Boom.
was live action,
Yeah.
except for the kangaroo was animated. But holy crap!
So if it's a live action movie, but there's a lot of animated characters, how does it like? How would something like Who Framed Roger Rabbit be classified? Is that a cartoon or is that
I
live
would
action?
classify it as live action with cartoons
Yeah.
in it.
It's just special effects. There's special effects in everyday movies now.
Yeah, I would classify it in the same category as like Infinity War,
Yeah.
where it's live action. But
Have you seen that yet?
nope,
Ah, God damn it.
I'm seeing it next week.
Okay. Thank goodness.
Because that's something we can talk about.
Yeah,
like,
that's
a
what we've
whole
been
episode
wanting to
about.
talk about.
I
for
can
so-
talk about
I actually watched a video on Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Yeah.
How they filmed the whole movie, and then the artist literally had to draw on the frames.
Really?
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, the cartoon characters.
Oh shit.
And like
That
how
sounds
the
cool. Like-
the actors had to like look in the direction of the, or like when the actors would act, the animators had to draw like the eyes to make sure that they matched up and like things like that.
Yeah, sometimes they'll have like props in place just so they can know where to look.
Because that movie came out in like the 80s, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Kind of miss it. It's weird seeing like those kind of mashups of like
Holy
cartoon
God.
and real life.
Yeah.
I just like it translates kind of weird. Like if you think about what is it, Space Jam? Didn't they talk about making a second Space Jam when like
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
with
with,
LeBron
like,
James?
LeBron
I think that's still in the mix, isn't it?
really?
It's probably being made right now. Probably being filmed as we speak.
They're doing a Bill and Ted 3.
I don't even know.
That's the time traveling guys.
The phone booth.
Yeah.
Time booth. Yeah.
I
With
saw that.
Keanu
I saw
Reeves.
that. I watched that in history for.
When's the next Harold and Kumar coming out?
I don't know.
There are 4 of them, right?
I was just making a
3.
joke.
There's 3 of them.
White Castle, Guantanamo Bay,
Guantanamo
and then
Bay.
Christmas.
And Christmas is the one.
I was
Christmas
just making
also
a
is the
joke
one that
about
has the
another
animated
movie
segment.
with a pair of
Yeah.
people.
I think
Like
so.
Kevin Hart and The Rock. When's their next movie? Have you seen
How many have they? They've had 2, right?
Yeah, they've had a
I
couple.
think
Have you seen
I'm
like
not
The
wrong.
Rock has just like over and over again, just like random disaster movies.
Yeah.
It's pretty fucking
He also
funny.
has movies
He
in
likes
general.
that, though.
Like he just loves
He
making
fits
movies.
the role though. That's
Oh
the
yeah,
thing.
but it's
like
just
he did
him over and
Rampage.
over again. He just plays himself.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious. Like,
Just go to him. Like I follow him on Instagram, and he posts stuff about his movies all the time.
Who's one actor or actress that you feel does a great job at playing like a wide variety of different roles?
variety.
Yeah, because you see a lot of
Daniel
actors or
Day-Lewis.
Yeah, I was about to
actresses-
say Daniel Day-Lewis.
I would easily
Andy
say him.
Serkis.
Um,
He does
And
all the
Serkis.
mocap for like
Anthony Hopkins.
Gollum.
I don't know.
yeah.
Anthony.
yeah, that's
King Kong.
yeah.
Andy Serkis is good for voice. Yeah.
Yeah,
Fuck.
he's pretty cool.
There's another one. It's hard. I kind of want to say Samuel
Austin
Jackson,
Myers.
but he's Austin Myers.
Yeah,
That's
I think
interesting
so.
actor. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
He's played Donkey in Shrek the Musical.
Yeah,
I
but
believe.
that's a little problematic. that
That was a
role,
flop.
that role is actually written to be played by a black person. I
But Austin
probably
can-
shouldn't have played it.
I think Austin, the one thing is great about your acting skills is that you can easily go from like a very serious role
Uh-huh.
to something comedic, and then but like even knowing who you are as a person, someone can watch that and still be like
Whoa.
entertained and still believe the character.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but
And Austin is just staring at me and smiling. That is so creepy.
yeah, we were talking about Dwayne The Rock Johnson. He's gonna
I
be
could
Black
just-
Adam.
Yeah.
Kiss you.
Really?
And the first time, see, I can't go into comments.
And the Suicide Squad too. It's
Uh,
planned.
I'm not talking about that.
Oh man, that is hilarious.
Hey man, I mean they're gonna try every bit to throw money. To try to make.
There's
it
also a
come back.
San Andreas too.
They're making a sequel to that movie.
Yeah,
Are you shitting me?
Right here and
Are
now.
you
It's an
serious?
earthquake movie.
Yeah, there's San Andreas
How are
too.
they
right
doing
there.
a fucking sequel?
At first, there was an earthquake.
This time there's
Now,
a
there's
tsunami.
still a
It's like
earth-
Sharknado. Now they made like 5.
I'm
Yeah, but
telling
that-
you,
but-
there has to be
but
another Sharknado coming
There
out.
is.
was like,
Jumanji. Welcome to the jungle.
yeah,
That was the title of the movie. Danny,
Sci-fi
can you tell me
Sharknado
again
6
how I'm
is
a great
time
actor?
traveling.
Didn't we watch the 5th one?
Yeah, we watched the 4th or the 5th one.
It made me swell.
I'm excited for that.
Dude,
Right.
they're like so bad they're good.
Yeah.
no, that's why like people watch them now is because they're so terrible. That's why like a bunch of actors.
Yeah,
and
but why are
actresses,
disaster movies like so big? Like that's
Because they're
just
fun. That's why like some horror. Like
This
there's-
is why the world deserves to end, because we waste money on shit like this.
like Sharknado.
I don't.
Yeah.
I didn't pay to go
See,
that
this
in
is why
theaters.
I'm glad that like World War III is about to break out in the Middle East, because movies like this are being made.
I don't.
Austin just said that he hopes that World War III breaks out
because of Sharknado.
so that we can stop. Wait,
Well,
you know what?
regardless of whether or not I hope it does, it's probably like it's not breaking out, but there's conflict breaking out in the Middle East right now that could potentially lead to a bigger conflict.
I mean, if World War III broke out and it meant like all things shitty ended, then bring it on.
Yeah, like
But how big of a
like
scale
Sharknado.
could like a
basically
World
what would
War
happen is
III be?
nukes would
Oh,
be sent
well-
off and
well, this
kill
is-
everyone.
but
and then
everyone
nothing
knows-
shitty would happen.
Everyone
because
knows how
humans would be
destructive
gone.
nukes are. Like,
Well,
why
that's what I'm
would?
saying.
that's the point.
Just a small nuclear war would trigger a nuclear winter that would kill everybody.
Yeah, so what would be the point? I feel like no one would
Oh,
want to
because then
send
you-
off.
Fallout
nukes.
IRL.
Humans wouldn't exist, so there's no more shitty things going on.
So you're saying you can't have an enemy if everyone's dead.
Exactly.
So the solution to solving everything is to kill everyone for World War III.
No, humans.
Right, because you would survive being.
Oh no, I'm with it.
You're
But there
with it.
is
Okay.
yeah,
Danny supports genocide.
Israel
I don't support genocide.
Israel attacked Iranian forces in Syria, and then after Trump pulled out of the deal, the Iranian deal, Iranian forces in Syria launched rockets into Israel, and then in response to that, Israeli jets launched like 60 missiles at Iranian targets in Syria. So it's just been like back and forth attacks like within the past 24 hours. And this is like the first time ever that those two countries have attacked each other back and forth. And it could potentially lead to something
I just
really
feel bad for the innocent bystanders.
really bad.
I mean, that's always what happens. Like
Oh,
when
yeah.
you ever think drone strikes, and they're like, "All right, these innocent people will die, but you'll get your target." And how much?
I feel bad for all the millions and millions of innocent people that die just because of the global chessboard.
Yeah.
Just
The
being
crossfire.
yeah, like
Yeah, it's shitty.
like
You know,
Iran.
it's more than they talk about.
Yeah, Iran has a population of 80 million people. Like, it's a huge country.
Yeah, that's like a little less than a third of the U.S.
Yeah. So like, to think that like that it would be really simple to just go in there and overthrow their government, which is what some people in the U.S. and some people in Israel want to do.
I mean, isn't it a thing that the CIA has done coups before?
They've done it in Iran
Yeah.
before.
And that's what the movie Argo is about.
Yeah, they
It's a
did
good
it.
movie.
Yeah, they did it.
It's a great movie.
That Ben Affleck.
Yep, it is.
In the
Or Batfleck, as
60s.
we call.
Affleck.
And
Yeah.
it was all because the leader of Iran wanted to nationalize their oil and give the oil profit, like, basically whatever oil profit there was, that profit would be returned to the people of Iran. And Western multinational companies were like, no, we're not going to have that.
Yeah. I mean, if you ever watch Archer, they have a lot of situations where a lot of people see it as comedy. There's a lot of like historical comedy, like commentary they have on it when they talk about like how much the U.S. is overthrown and things like that.
So look at the
And
Arab Spring that happened a few years ago.
Yeah.
That was totally us.
Yeah.
That was totally Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama's foreign policy idea for how to deal with the Middle East. They were like, let's trigger a bunch of insurrections across that region, and then that way it'll be quote unquote democratic uprisings.
I mean, wait, hold on. I just almost forgot about. Remember when Turkey had the uprising?
The coup. There was a failed coup.
Yeah, failed coup.
Yeah.
It was a military coup, right?
But like in a short period of time, like Egypt, Libya, and then it even started to happen in Syria, but like that ended up turning into a huge civil war.
Right.
But like in multiple countries across that region, there were large-scale insurrections that led to the overthrow of whatever government was in place. And I think that was part of some strategy to sort of shape the Middle East to have more countries that were friendlier toward the U.S. But
Right.
I think that I think it backfired in some respects. We still have, like, Egypt and Saudi Arabia are still our, big allies. There wasn't an insurrection in Saudi Arabia, but in Egypt there was. But Libya is a lost cause. We destroyed that country. It's just like Iraq. It's basically like Somalia now.
Which one was Gaddafi from?
Libya.
Yeah, Libya. That's right.
And you know what he did? He gave us his nuclear weapons.
No.
And then we toppled him anyway. So then like that's what's like the elephant in the room when there's all these like really, really positive peace negotiations going on, but it's like, oh, well, is the United States just, smiling and shaking other countries' hands, and then just in the future just going to turn their back just like they did with Gaddafi, or are they going to turn their back just like they just did with Iran? And is there going to be like more conflict in the future?
I mean, yeah. If you think about it, I mean, just the way to stay in power, like when the USSR was a thing back during the Cold War, they just took over multiple countries, and that was it.
So think about the situation back then that made people afraid of World War III. I think that the situation today is more complicated, and there's more scenarios today that could break out that could lead to a global conflict. Whereas, 20, 30 years ago during the Cold War, it was the United States, the Soviet Union. The two of them, if they fight, it's going to end civilization.
Right.
Nowadays, there's so many different things. I mean, just as simple as India and Pakistan both have nuclear weapons. If they fight each other and enough nuclear weapons are launched, it could bring about a nuclear holocaust that wipes out all life on Earth. There's, if if the United States goes to war with, if the United States were to attack North Korea, then that might bring us into conflict with China. If the United States fights China, that's a world war.
Yeah.
You know, Israel, you know, the fear right now is that Israel, who's allied with the United States, is attacking Iran, who's allied with Russia, and that could possibly lead to confrontation between
it's
Russia and the United
it's exactly
States.
like the Vietnam War or like the Korea War, where you have someone on the other side who's much bigger than the group fighting.
Yeah, they're just like proxy wars.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. Yeah, that's why I think that some people are correct in saying that in the past, I would say in the past like 8 years, the Cold War has really like started again. Like it's
I don't think it ever ended.
completely. But
Well, it ended in a sense that the USSR fell as an empire and became back into Russia.
But they rose back up to the point where they had to have international influence, and so they have enough influence to where they impact how we deal with other countries around the world. They impact how we deal in
you don't
Syria. They
rub
impact how
shoulders
we
the wrong way.
Well,
Yeah.
that's what I think. I don't think the Cold War ended. I think it took a dip. And
That's what I'm saying. It just had like a brief
Hiatus.
just a brief
which is just
siesta.
like normal relationships, or like even like friendships and everything. If you have a big fight about something, if there's an issue, you can overcome them, but there's always still that problem. You know?
Oh yeah, I think tensions always existed. The thing that like had made the dip exist in the hiatus was the fact that militarily and internationally Russia's power greatly diminished. But then when Putin took over, and then in recent years Putin has like really increased their power both militarily and their like relations with other countries, namely Iran, China, Syria, to the point where they are like a major global power again. And so the fact that we do have this conflict between, not direct conflict, but competition, it makes the Cold War, alive and well again.
Yeah, and it's always interesting, like thinking about how many like real life aspects where you see kind of like people, like how like the World War III has been used in different types of media as a way to like a weird, like not only just kind of like a simulation of what it is, but kind of like seeing what could happen. And like video games, I think Modern Warfare 3 the story of it is World War III or something like that.
I believe so.
I think the end of it has like a bomb in Washington D.C.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's like a part of like the story for it, and it's like things like that where you have like these world-ending scenarios, and I think it's pretty popular in most video games where you have like apocalyptic settings and you have.
Well, that's just like
they're preparing
that's
us for
modern cinema and everything too. It's just like what would happen at the end of the world. Like that's
look at The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, a lot of people get a thrill out of that situation. Like no one really expected.
Why do
you
think it's happening?
Yeah,
people get a thrill out of it.
Yeah,
that's exactly why it's happening. The people that have enough power to influence, what happens with human civilization, they enjoy the thrill of the chaos that this type of governing brings to the world.
I mean, we briefly mentioned it last time when we talked about how you play you play Age of Empires primarily, right? And how I'm sure you really enjoy when you like conquer a new territory or anything like that. Or
actually, playing those games, sometimes like I like to play it multiple times and like with different strategies in mind. Like sometimes I'll play and I'll be like, yeah, I'm gonna conquer the whole world. And but I mean, the game's so fucking difficult that's impossible.
It's like an inherent like balancing application to it.
Yeah, it's pretty difficult. And then but then other times I kind of like to just simulate what would happen if I just focused inward on my own people,
right? And
then like how like foreign relations would
build
exist.
around that.
Yeah, and so it's interesting. I find either one enjoyable in terms of playing. But I mean, if I were like a leader in real life, I'm morally opposed to the idea of conquering other people.
Hmm.
I think that wars should be fought for self-defense.
You all don't really play like real-time strategy games like that, right?
Not
Like
anymore, no.
you never played Halo Wars or
No,
anything?
I've been addicted
No, I
to
did.
it
That's why I
lately.
just mean not
I
anymore.
grew up on StarCraft 1, Warcraft
Really?
3. Yeah, dude.
Oh shit, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I played Age of Empires 1 through 3 when they came out. I remember getting them at the store in CDs.
Oh shit, I know you guys played them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't really played like RTS games except for like those web browser games, where you like summon armies and you like if you get like enough for
I used to
you
play
get
a shit ton of tower defense games on like
Yeah, okay, that's what I
Miniclip
meant.
and
Yeah,
like Mo Fun Zone.
tower defense games.
Mini clip.
Yeah, I always
Yeah.
played like the Age of Empires like in my childhood and throughout high school. It wasn't until college that I started playing the Total War games, and those like are much more like take a lot more strategy, and the battles are a lot harder. And then like the way that you have to interact with the other countries is like you got to like have alliances and so you got to watch out. People will just straight up invade you and then game over.
Yeah,
So
I think
it's
I
just it's a lot of fun.
I ended up straying away from like those type of games because I'm just so fucking impatient that like I would want to type in the cheat codes or like even for like Zoo Tycoon, like I would always type
Oh,
in the
yeah.
cheat code so I can just get or like with the
How
Sims.
fun is Zoo Tycoon and like the roller coaster tycoon
Oh, it's
games?
actually a lot of
Awesome.
fun.
Yeah, those games are fucking
Because
awesome.
you
I
just
played Zoo
it's pretty much just
Tycoon
like
quite a bit.
building parks, right?
It's yeah, and then
Yeah.
you
I was
have
playing
a
that at
budget
the
and then you have
library.
to
You got to
Yeah,
keep all the
consumer
guests happy.
and-
Yeah, you got to keep them happy. It's hard.
Yeah,
a
it's interesting.
simulator.
Yeah,
Like,
1 and 2,
They get all pissed off.
3 games. You can pick people up and drop. You can literally
Drop
make a
lines off in
pool
the-
But I feel like
and
those
like drop
games.
people in and they drown.
I feel like those games are so involved that you like have to spend so much time
You do.
into them.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You do, and you like it's very easy to become addicted to games like that.
Well, I mean, video game addiction is pretty much common for anyone. I feel like if you have enough free time
I
for
mean, I
it.
think anything
I would-
could
well,
become it.
I didn't have free time. I had very little free time this semester, and I was completely addicted to Skyrim the whole semester. I played
When
it
the
so.
Skyrim remastered came out, I was like, "Oh, there goes Austin."
Oh yeah.
Well, that's the thing with addiction. You make time for it.
hmm
hmm
Like,
Yeah, I used
like
to-
you do. Like if it doesn't fit in your schedule,
Yeah.
it becomes part of your schedule.
Back when GTA
Would you
5
say black?
Yeah.
Black women.
Black went. Well, no, when GTA 5 online first came out, and
Yeah.
like everyone was like trying to level up, but it was all glitchy and stuff. That's when I used to work on my first job, and I would always be pissed because I'd have work, but I wanted to
Have all
finish.
your
like,
friends would be
yeah,
playing.
we were like playing missions and shit.
See, I did the same thing, except I would work and then come home, not get maybe but 2 hours of sleep because I'd be playing GTA until school started.
I did that with Halo. When my first Xbox 360 game was Halo Reach, and I
yeah.
spent I like even now when I go back, I'm like closest to the highest rank on Halo.
In high school, I would wake up at 6 o'clock, play Halo for about an hour, and then go to school.
Jeez.
So, what for each of us? Is there any video game that like lately you've been playing a lot that you've been addicted to?
I beat God of War in like 4 days.
The new one?
Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah,
It's
I was just talking to the guy
it's-
at
how long is
GameStop
it?
about
How
that.
It's
long
like
is
a
it?
40-hour game.
It's a
Holy
40-hour campaign.
I-
It was just that good.
Yeah, so GTA was a 40 to 50-hour campaign.
I've
I
never
believe-
played
Yeah.
God of War, but I watched Zach
Yeah, you
play
watched the
decent
end.
about it, and that game is it's
It looks
awesome.
fun.
It's a
It's stunning.
masterpiece. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
It's really
amazing.
nice.
Really
Yeah.
cool.
I'm glad that they brought it back because
The
I feel like a lot of
storytelling
people
and
did not like
That's
the
really
last
cool.
one as much.
So the original ones were Greek mythology,
Right.
and now this is kind of a not a like
It's
it's kind of
Norse,
a
isn't
reboot,
Yeah,
but
it's Nordic.
it's a continuing of Kratos, who's like the main character, his
Mhm.
story, and yeah, it's in Norse mythology, and they did a
Okay.
really good job of like bridging him over to this whole kind of thing.
The worlds are so like immersive and everything.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
can go.
the- what's that? The
They're
giant
so
snake thing?
crazy.
Yeah, the World Serpent.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's in there,
that's cool as hell.
and they already confirmed like 2 more games for this one.
Yeah.
So it has like, it has like, was it Thor? And or is that?
Thor does make an appearance
Okay.
at the way end.
Don't spoil it because
Yeah.
I might want to play it. I was
Yeah.
talking to the guy at GameStop about it today.
Yeah, do you have Can you have multiple saves on your account?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You can play it on there.
Is it? Oh well, actually, never mind. Because you have a PS4. I was to say, is it a Xbox exclusive?
It's a PS exclusive.
Good, because I have PS4.
Yeah, you should play it.
Yeah. I don't have it on disc. I have it digitally though.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm probably gonna get it on the disc.
Cool.
Yeah, like when you're home and you have like a couple of days of free time, definitely. Like for me, if a game's like really good, I'll sit down and I'll play it for like 8 hours straight
Oh yeah.
and just like pull right into it. And that's one of the games.
Mhm.
I know nowadays it's not as many games do that just because I feel like quality has gone down now they're more focused on how can we make the most money, or just
In-game
push it,
purchases.
or
Yeah,
just
I was actually-
push out games.
I was
as quickly
talking
as
about my
possible.
roommate about it recently, how CSGO started the whole loot crate thing.
Oh yeah, that's
and now it's just exploded into everything. Like
Well,
you have
now-
Fortnite.
now Belgium's cracking down on that. They made them
Really?
illegal. Yep, and they're like prosecuting people who try to use that. The
Wow.
whole CS:GO gambling thing
Yeah, that
a
was a
couple
huge
years
thing.
ago
That
was blown open
Some of the
because a
YouTubers.
lot of the YouTubers had ownership of these sites, and they would manipulate the odds so that way when they would play, they would like always be winning, and all these 12-year-old fans that play and
Would play it
would
themselves.
want to like do it, so they go on the site and put in their parents' credit cards and just waste their money.
And people like sell these skins for like
Oh yeah,
upwards
so
of
so
$400,
Steam,
$600.
yeah, Steam has a whole like marketplace. This is before the gambling. The Steam, like CS:GO and a lot of other games on the Steam, you like unlock crates, and then you can buy like for $250 you can open a crate, and it's a random odds of getting. The best thing you can get is a knife, like you said, the knives, like the most rare things. Those go for like $300, $400 real dollars.
Yeah.
And then some skins, depending on the rarity, and like they have different like factory news, like the nicest looking to like worn or whatever. So that was before. Now and then people, these YouTubers started integrating these gambling sites, which were third party. So it wasn't through Steam, but it was using people's inventories and skins. And like I said, they would like manipulate it, and then that got exposed. Most of them got shut down.
Oh yeah.
A lot of the YouTubers they didn't get they weren't in jail or anything. A lot of them are actually still pretty big now.
Mm-hmm.
There's actually one guy, you can look him up. His name's Phantom Lord. He was like a really,
Oh yeah.
and he fled to like Mexico
Holy shit.
because
Yeah. No, it was a huge
it was pretty
thing.
bad. Like yeah,
Because you're having a bunch of children like
basically gambling
online.
kids.
That's
It's just-
like the thing.
So
with
he
it,
was
he's
tricking
like-
people into and sending him money, like as part of this gambling thing on
Well,
the.
they wasn't sending him money, but they would go on his site. They didn't. No one knew that these guys owned.
Oh,
these
it was just the
things.
fact that
Like,
he
you would
was
see it-
facilitating it.
Right. So essentially, what he made is like kind of like a ghost, like a phantom company, where you wouldn't be able to track that he was the owner into it unless you
Oh.
looked into it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Well, that's the problem.
Did they ever
like,
find him?
That was multiple people that
there's
had different sites.
There's this guy named T-Mart. He's
T-Mart,
like a
yeah.
COD
Mhm.
YouTuber. Pro Syndicate, who's actually pretty popular. He's also a COD YouTuber.
Yep, Syndicate was part of it.
And these guys I think got slaps on the wrist for the most part because I think they shut down their sites, and then they just had to pay like money, which they're rich as fuck anyway, so it
Yeah.
doesn't really matter. But yeah, Phantom Lord was like a bigger one who ended up, like I said, having to flee the country because he would have been prosecuted. I guess he just got too scared or whatever, but fuck that guy. That's so fucked. Nowadays, like I said, Belgium's trying to make these in-game loot boxes illegal
Yeah.
because they're classified as like gambling.
Blog TV. Fucking hands up.
and some of the sites, they're like these new like gambling sites, but they're supposedly like safe and not being manipulated.
But
Like
it's
the old
still,
ones?
It's still chance.
Which is
and-
still is
and
chance and
chances
gambling and
always-
shit.
Yeah.
But Steam implemented a new rule for CS:GO where the trading, you have to wait 7 days to trade or something like that.
Yeah, to
which
limit
which
how often you can do
basically fucks over all these gambling sites.
Because you could do it as much as you
Yeah, you
wanted
can trade
to.
as much as you want as quickly as possible. But now they put on like an implication where you have to wait like a full week before you can trade and stuff again. So I think that's good. I think that they should at least dumb it down to like the Fortnite model, where you can just buy skins outright
Mhm.
rather than having to go through a paid loot box and not get a guaranteed.
Yeah, 'cause-
get what you guaranteed paid
Because
for.
Fortnite has the free-to-play aspect, but they trade it off with microtransactions, which I feel like is what everything. Even like how like
Well,
they
League of
talk
Legends
about
does
like
that.
children using their parents' credit cards to pay for stuff on like online
Yeah.
phone apps and such.
Well, that's what I was trying to get to. Was like,
Yeah.
it's like I have a shit ton of small cousins,
Mhm.
and they all know how to use iPads and everything before they can even talk.
Yep.
And so, they really do kind of take advantage of these children that are, just want to play a game, and then they say, "Oh, look, it's more like." I remember like the Smurf Village game that I used to play a lot, and like you could buy like 100 like Smurf berries or whatever that would like help build your village or what, you know. But like if you're a kid, you're just like, oh hey, that's what I need. They're like, oh, do you want to buy more? It's like, oh yeah, it's a game. Why would I not want to buy more? Like
Yeah, like games like Temple Run or like Rocket Jump or whatever that game was called.
Yeah, I think there's like some stuff happens accidentally. Some stuff like that happens on purpose. I had something happen accidentally where it was Pirates of the Caribbean Online. Oh, actually, no, it wasn't Pirates of the Caribbean Online. Pirates of the Caribbean Online was actually one of my favorite online games that I ever played. That one was actually a lot of fun because you could like have your own pirate ship and like you could customize how your person was, and I just really liked the way the combat was and how you could explore like so many different areas.
Yeah, you might like the new pirate game. What is it? Sea of Thieves.
Oh, I'll have to look it up, but I really liked Pirates of the Caribbean Online. But the one that I was thinking of that something happened like that was Wizard 101.
Oh,
my brothers and I played that, and we thought that we just got like a subscription that ended at after a certain amount of time, but it actually like kept charging my mom even like after we stopped playing it.
Oh wow!
So like I bet stuff like that happens a lot.
Or people just subscribe to something and forget.
A lot of horror reviews, like parents hooking up their credit cards to their children's apps. So the kids don't know what they're doing, and they could accidentally hit like
and once it's already hooked up,
$100 charge.
Well, my mom's, when I was in high school, my mom's credit card was connected to my Xbox. So if I wanted to, I could buy a game whenever I wanted. I didn't because I mean she'd find out. She'd been like, holy shit, where she'd been like, okay, $60 just went missing. And then she could look in her account summary at what it was paid for, and then she could track it to me. But like, so that's why I never did anything. But it definitely was like, oh, I could. And so I bet kids have done it.
I think there should be some type of like regulation process that every time you want to go in and make a purchase, you have to edit like the credit card information again.
Well, usually they do that with the CVV, which is your.
They make you enter that in now.
But I'm saying for the mobile games.
I see what you're saying.
You want to make a purchase.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I think like
I need a 40.
We'll get there.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
But yeah, it sucks, but I'm glad that they've been cracking down on all these things. I think microtransactions and loot crates are fucking dumb.
Yeah, they need to crack the whip on
I started thinking back to the episode of The Office when he's playing what's that? Oh God, I can't speak. What's it have when it's
today, Junior?
What actors do, and they're making it up on the spot.
Improv.
When Michael Scott's doing improv, and in every scene he does, he always has a gun, and he always like, hands up, it's Michael Scott here, or something, like no matter what the scene is. So like you ever seen that episode?
I don't remember that.
No.
It's hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really.
How often have you watched The Office, and the fact that you remember?
He was watching it yesterday.
Okay, there it is.
That was the episode I was watching. Well, no, because I remember freshman and sophomore year. I think I've seen the show all the way through like 3 or 4 times.
Is it not weird that that's one of the shows that all of our people our age watch all the time?
No, because it's just
I don't watch it.
a cultural thing now.
It's a good show.
No, it's not like bad. It's like
every
like Friends and everything.
girl's bio.
You said
Oh yeah.
Tender.
Every tender
Wait, you
girls.
you have an office. Who's the one who said they had an office quote?
I do.
Yeah, you do. So
Yeah, it's
You have an
basic,
office
but it's
quote?
what it is.
That doesn't surprise me.
yeah.
You still have your Tinder?
He said every girl
No,
on
I
Tinder,
don't
and then
like
he
Tinder.
said he
No,
has.
but
the,
when I was on there, and even Bumble, like it's either like I love dogs.
Bumble.
What a joke!
I love
that.
dogs. I love food. I love The Office. You can get like.
I love dogs. I love food. I love The Office. I'm Mark
I think
Timbers.
you're not on Tinder. I think you're
love
on
all that.
Tumblr there, Danny.
Boom!
I mean, it's on
shots.
All right, if you pull up Tinder right now, I bet I can find one of those.
I bet you mine's better than yours.
Oh.
I don't have one, so of course
We've already
it's-
We've already heard Zach's bio, and it
He
was
started
better
off
than
the-
Danny's.
Yeah, he started off
Yeah,
the
it
first
was.
episode with it. It was pretty good.
That's why Zach gets more matches than Danny.
Yeah.
Yep.
How can you get matches if you don't have them?
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're always gonna be
All a conspiracy.
nothing.
But speaking of
But yeah,
conspiracies.
no wait.
Yeah.
I just wish like video games would go back to the way that we grew up with. You know how you had to unlock shit
Yeah.
rather
Oh, God,
than
yeah,
having
like,
to pay.
I was thinking about earlier, like I was talking about Halo Reach. How they have a credit system,
Ooh.
which is how you play the game enough, and you can just unlock shit. And like it's also your choice
Yeah,
on
that's
what you
like
want to unlock.
Destiny.
Destiny has a credit.
Destiny. Like it was.
You get currency.
Yeah, like I mean, a lot. You could play the game and like unlock a lot of the stuff yourself, like and level up just by playing it a lot and playing the game well. But you definitely could like just with a bunch of money, get really good at these. There's so many games like that all you got to do is just drop a bunch of money on it, and you're the best person in the
Destiny has microtransactions?
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
With Reach, though, they didn't.
I might be wrong. I might be wrong, but for some reason I think that it.
No, you're right.
That it does.
Because you just have maps, and then you unlock DLC through maps, and that's it.
You get credits based on your skill,
Mm-hmm.
and then so that's how, like Halo 5. I don't want to talk about it too much, but
Well, I was gonna say Halo 5 fell victim to the
Existing.
pay to win
yeah,
and existing.
they still have a credit system, but there's also like loot crates.
Yep.
So you can like what I'd never pay.
What is the max one? Like $100? The max one you can pay for it? Yeah.
But you can keep pressing that button.
Yep. Yeah, you can.
It's
and GTA has it as well. I mean,
Oh, they made like
cards?
$1 billion off of GTA
$1
Online.
billion?
Yeah, from all like the online.
Probably a bunch of YouTubers who are trying to show off all
That
the new
and
things.
just
You have
like-
a lot of loyal gamers. Like,
And then people that don't want to fucking grind, which I don't blame them. The grinding in online is
Took
fucking
forever,
takes so long.
Yeah, like if you think of like MMOs and all that,
Yeah.
like World of Warcraft has a lot of that. Or
Oh yeah,
but WoW is-
MMOs are the worst when it comes to stuff like that.
Oh yeah, but they don't do pay to win on like MMORPGs. I
Which
mean,
is-
you can pay and get gold delivered to you,
Mm-hmm.
and like
That's the thing. You can there's a lot of games like that where the game has like there's a currency that you get in the game by doing quests and by selling stuff, but then there's a separate currency that you like buy and is like a reward currency. And then like you can go to like a special shop and buy stuff with that. Almost all MMOs have some kind of thing like that.
WoW doesn't do that. Guild Wars 2 does, but it's only for cosmetic stuff only, nothing to help
But
you.
I think it's such a dumb thing to pay for cosmetic things. Like there's one
mean,
cool thing.
Some of the
I
mounts for WoW are pretty cool.
Like,
Like,
there's,
could you imagine if mods for like some get like if like there was like a civil war almost
So-
when they tried to make people pay for mods for
Skyrim.
Skyrim.
Remember-
That was so
remember
dumb.
Bethesda?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So Bethesda initially, what they came out
kinda
with
like
was
what it is.
what did they call it? Like Creator
The Creator Club.
Creator Club, like something like that.
Creation
yeah.
Club, yeah.
Creation Club. Where essentially what you do is there's tokens I think you use to
Yeah,
pay
you
for
buy,
them.
yeah.
But those tokens you buy, you have to pay for. And all these mods are stuff that the PC already has. And they're like, all right, well the consoles can't use mods, so
They're
we're
trying to
like,
double dip off.
hey, all these mods that people created, you can make them again and get paid for it.
Yeah.
And they introduced that like years after Nexus mods had already. It still
Yeah,
exists
there had already
too.
been so many mods out, and then they started trying to make people
Pay.
pay for. There's a mod on Steam you can get that is a memorial. It's a Skyrim mod. It's a memorial to the mod war.
So did it go through? Like did the Creation Club like
It's up there, yeah.
it's a thing now?
Yeah.
Oh
it's
yeah,
fun.
mods are free. Yeah, the free mods won.
Oh.
Yeah, that's why there's a mod.
No. They still have it. They have it up on console for Fallout 4 and for Skyrim,
Yeah,
where you have to pay. But fuck that. I'm never paying for mods on there.
Oh, for console, yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah,
I think,
console.
but for PC,
So the PC
no.
The
mods,
PC
yeah.
said fuck off.
Were they gonna try to find a way to charge people for that? That's so
I would have
dumb.
been so pissed.
But
yeah,
that's hilarious.
Oh yeah, I've downloaded so many mods for Skyrim on the
I
PC.
love-
I definitely have never paid a single dime for that.
Who's the guy who's the big guy in Bethesda? Who's
Todd Howard.
Todd
Yeah,
Howard.
Howard.
I love the It Just Works video of him. I just recently watched
Just
that, where he discusses the things in Fallout and how everything like
I mean, 4 was.
Apparently, he won't even.
mixed, very mixed, but not. Yeah.
I want them to remaster New Vegas.
He won't even tell his own children like. Well, I mean, it makes sense, but he won't tell his own children like about Elder Scrolls 6. They like ask him about it, and he won't tell them.
Just won't come out.
Oh
Yeah,
shit! We have to do an episode on E3 predictions.
No, we can do that.
Oh, that would be awesome if they announced it at E3. That would be incredible.
I know they're announcing 2 unannounced projects and
You think
a couple
Bethesda is?
sequels. Yeah,
343
watch
Studios
one of
might
them be Elder
need
Scrolls
to
6.
have something to.
Dude, that would,
I know they're gonna probably show off
cry.
the next Doom game.
I would fucking cry.
Well, because right now they have like the Elder Scrolls Online,
Which they've been. They actually just released a
bunch of new stuff for.
Yeah, they released the Elder Scrolls Online Somerset, which is what they've been doing for the past few years. They've just been
expansion.
Somerset? What is that? There's like a bunch of things.
So
for...
there's different provinces within the world that the Elder Scrolls takes place in.
Right.
And the Somerset Isles is one of them. So they released a DLC that just takes place in that area, which is what they've been Elder Scrolls Online has been doing. When it came out, it had like all these areas that you could go to as, just the vanilla game itself. But over the years, they've just been releasing DLC after DLC after DLC.
How long has that game been out?
Since
while.
like either I think like 2013,
Really?
and Skyrim came out in 2011.
Shit.
And Skyrim had 2 DLCs. They actually apparently had more DLCs planned, but they never went through with them because they started going balls deep in Elder Scrolls Online, and they've been dragging stuff out with Elder Scrolls Online as their fan base has been like
Dwindling?
has been like not dwindling.
Oh.
They've been like, where the hell is information about Elder Scrolls 6? You gave us a Fallout game that had a lot in it and like looked like a lot of work was put into it, but also like a lot of work was not put into it.
Right. I mean, that's like the thing though.
And
Well,
what my point was is that they're just like pumping out all these like things to distract people.
In the next couple of years.
Yeah.
Well,
for
GTA
sure.
Online, like you see how much money it
That's
makes.
why
Like
they're
how
not.
much are they
That's
gonna?
why they have no reason to make another GTA. They
Yeah.
have
What's
no
the point
reason
of
to
making
rush
GTA
another
6 when you
GTA.
have all this? I mean, I feel like what they're gonna do is create some integration.
Do you think that
that's why they have Red Dead coming out?
I mean, I'm not saying
Oh,
I love
yeah,
Red
Rockstar's
Dead.
got
Nervous.
Red
I'm
Dead.
nervous about that because
Well, the multiplayer for that game was really fun as well.
but it's paid. You can pay $50 and get.
But do you think how many
And that's still fun.
GTA's? It's primarily the things you buy are not necessarily cosmetic. Obviously, a lot of you can do a lot
You just
with
get
some
the
of the things
currency
you
and
buy.
you can buy basically anything you
But
want.
But-
this is Cowboys. You can't buy a
Yeah, that's what I was
spaceship
gonna
and
say,
everything.
like,
you
there's-
can buy what, like a nice horse?
Have you seen the new Spider-Man
buy,
game that's
all
coming
the-
out?
Like,
yeah,
that's what I'm
Spider-Man
saying, like-
is awesome.
I looked at a magazine about it in GameStop today. The new Spider-Man game that's coming out.
Yeah.
It's like a whole new storyline.
Yeah.
It looks really
Cool.
interesting.
And when you like
New
pre-order
costumes.
it, yeah, you can get the Iron Spider suit from
Infinity War.
Apparently, you can customize. You can customize the costumes.
That's cool. The
But the-
color scheme.
Yeah, but the one on the magazine looked really cool. It was like the traditional red and blue,
Yeah.
Mhm.
but the spider, instead of being black,
white.
was white,
Yeah,
and it
it's-
just looked
That's
really
his new
cool.
costume in the game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
is it? What? How does it look in in Infinity War?
It's a Iron Spider outfit.
What does that one look like?
It's
I can
gold
show you.
stripes on it.
Oh wait, I probably shouldn't look it up.
Yeah.
I'm not
Don't
gonna.
look that
It
up.
might be a spoiler.
Oh,
There we
I
go.
actually already did kind of get a spoil for me on Instagram.
Spoiler alert.
It was yes spoiler alert. I don't like respond to what I say, but like I just saw something. It was like it was a meme, and they were like people. There was like 2 panels, and there was like a sad scene from something on the left hand side, and then there was a sad scene from something on the right hand side, and it was just frames, but the frames were kind of unclear, and it was just Captain America in what appeared to be a very stressful situation.
Mhm.
Like what it looked like to me was like in the background I could just kind of see like a rock.
Mm-hmm.
So it looked like Captain America with like blood on his like he had like blood on his like forehead, and he was like he had like an angry look on his face. It looked like he was grappling with what I assume was something attached to Thanos.
Oh, you mean like the trailer?
Yeah, I was in the
Yeah, that's
trailer.
on trailer.
That's a screenshot from the trailer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But what it was put next to was something sad from something else. So it made me think, oh, they're alluding to a sad scene in Infinity War dealing with Captain America.
Yeah, that could have just been a trailer meme.
And
like
can you Google how much it made? So
it's
far?
at 1.3 billion, a little bit over 1.3 billion.
Jesus, how
But
close is
it's
it?
still behind The Force Awakens, which is crazy to me.
Because
That
it
how
has-
big Star Wars
Aaron, it
is.
hasn't even
compared-
opened up in China yet.
Is that it opens tomorrow in
It was
China?
also the fastest growing movie of all time to hit $1 billion.
But that's
So
why
it's
it's so.
going, it's going to pass.
There's been more people anticipating this. I personally have anticipated it more than the
Star Wars.
Star Wars movies. I just haven't had the chance to see
Look
it
at the
yet.
success of Black Panther. This is definitely going to beat that.
That's already it's
Yeah,
scaling.
I
ahead
think it
of
already beat it.
But Marvel's not. Well, I mean, Marvel doesn't care. Obviously, they don't care. I was going to say Disney doesn't care.
because
Because
it
they own
owns
all
both.
of them. Yeah, they're literally competing with
But
themselves.
I still
Yeah.
think they have they still want Star Wars to be seen as a good franchise, and I think recently people.
Of course.
It never will.
I don't think. I think with
Star Wars
Solo
has
coming out,
I think Star Wars has the potential. I think that
do
there's
you think Solo has good potential?
no, because I think that's something that's fucking dragged out. I think that there's so much material within the Star Wars extended universe that you can actually craft really good storylines.
Have you read any of those books?
Like Rogue One was good.
Rogue One was really good.
I just wish they didn't
I
use-
haven't read any of the books, but I played a lot of the video games, and like a lot of the like old Republic stuff is really interesting. Like
Knights of the Old Republic.
back in the time when like the Jedi were like really prevalent and like the Sith were really prevalent. Like that stuff is pretty interesting, and I think that it would make for a pretty cool movie if they did like I think that the time that the like kind of because it would be similar to the time that the prequels are set in.
Mhm.
I think that the time period the prequels are set in and like that setting would have made for some really cool stuff.
Would
But
have
they
a lot
just
better atmosphere.
but they just made shitty movies
I
with
mean,
it.
Game of Thrones is the same way, where they have like a lot of the historical things that happen, like when you think the Tower of Joy and all the things, the war scenes from like Robert's Rebellion and all that. Like that's
Yeah.
a lot more interesting, but they just show snippets of it, and you're like, I'd
Well, aren't
rather
they-
see that.
Aren't they planning on doing a prequel season?
Yeah, I think they
Yeah.
are. But
That's
about
like
how
from
the-
Skyrim.
all the different-
like
Same thing.
everything's like seems like all the things in the past were so much cooler, but then you get only like the end of everything.
That's like in Skyrim there's like it takes place in 4th era 201, but there's this in 4th era 171 there was this huge global war that like that completely affected like what's happening in the game now. But like all that stuff surrounding the war that happened is much more interesting than like the current game. So like I
Yeah.
wish that they had just made the game based on
Coincide.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you were the Dragonborn during the war or something like that. That would have been a lot cooler.
Yeah.
Like when I Danny, you never got like
Or I guess what was disappointing about the thing with Skyrim was that they had all that backstory, they built it all up, and then never went anywhere with it. So yeah, it would have been. That's the only reason why I'm so interested in it.
Yeah, because I was gonna bring up to Danny. So I keep bringing up this game because I just love it so much. But I got the Legendary Edition for Halo Reach. And in it, there's Halsey has a journal, and you can read through it, and it's really cool to see like the actual lore of a lot of these like worlds that people build.
Oh.
But you never get to actually enjoy them, and some of them seem so much more interesting. Like when you read about just the Spartan program as a whole and like how they like developed and just things like that.
I mean,
Yeah,
that's
the games become so much more interesting when you research the lore behind it all.
But you wish you kind of had the ability to like.
well, and my obsession for that franchise has been fueled because mostly that they do explain stuff like that, or they do have like
Yeah, they have series of books
they have
too.
series of books, and they also have films that represent some of the lore.
TV shows as well.
Yeah, and so that's why I really, because it's not only are you like immersed by the game itself and the story within the game and the backstory that you can find in the game, but they also have the lore that the company provides within books, films. I think they even had like podcasts and stuff before. So.
They have comic books, graphic novels.
Yeah.
Star Wars has the same thing. I think Skyrim has a couple.
you
Yeah, the Elder
graphic
Scrolls
novels.
has a couple books, but most of it like is just within the game. There's so much because it's an
Like
open
the things
world.
you can read and such.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it's an
Yeah.
open world. There's so much history within the game.
Yeah.
And so what the way that if I could stutter some more, the way that I've learned a lot of it is the wiki page because like almost every single game or like
Yeah.
even Marvel and like
Wiki
some
pages are
they
fucking.
have like their own wikis and you can like search for stuff within those and it like it won't be like all of Wikipedia, you know, where you're searching through all that. You'll be searching through a wiki that's like dedicated to just specifically what you're looking for. So there's one for the Elder Scrolls, and yeah, I just look up stuff and just when I was in high school, I would just read about that. But yeah, I'll definitely I assume you guys will be too. I'll be playing a lot of video games this summer as I can, but I do have other plans for this summer.
Yeah, I want to get into it, and at least back into some games for the summer because I will be working a lot throughout it. But I feel like there's a lot of things I just haven't done for so long that I want to get back into. Like the last game I think I played was Binding of Isaac, and like I haven't really also like just utilizing just outside as well as.
Do you have any summer
talk about
plans?
games as well? Yeah, pretty much just this summer is pretty much just working. I haven't done it. I didn't really do it that much last summer, and that was pretty much because I just wanted the summer off because I knew from now on I'd be, like doing career stuff and everything. So I was just like last summer, you know, I'll go out and do stuff. I think I want to go to Firefly again this year. I have a friend group that's really planning on going.
Do they have a good lineup this year?
You going to Firefly, Zach? You always go.
Possibly, yes.
Yeah, it's possible.
Depending, yeah. I think I can make it work.
Yeah, it's pretty much just deciding on if it can work. But I definitely want to go to a music festival, a couple of concerts at the National probably.
Yeah.
I want to see the Neighborhood real bad. And Royal Blood, but I think they're at Charlottesville. But yeah, pretty much just working, music, just doing a lot more around Richmond. I feel like I haven't utilized a lot of the activities and
Well,
things.
now we'll have
happening.
more free time though.
Yeah, the Watermelon Festival.
Yeah.
The Broad Appetit, which is really good. If any of you have not gone to that, that's July 1st.
That's all
usually,
like the food,
around that area.
local food
It's my
places.
birthday, by the way, so if you need to celebrate.
Yeah.
We're
I
gonna
won't be
cut
able-
that.
We'll bring 30.
Bleep
we'll
that
bring
out,
30 Yeah, we'll bring 30 people on a DJ stand if you want.
I won't be able to enjoy much of the stuff in Richmond. I might be coming, like throughout the summer. I'll be coming back and forth between Richmond and where I live, just to spend some time here. But yeah, I'm trying to just get a job out there, and my parents just finished planning this big garden, or not planning, but preparing this big garden that we're gonna plant, and then they just built a chicken coop. We're gonna get some chickens.
That's awesome.
So like this summer, I'm gonna become a little farmer, in addition to like
So jealous.
trying to get a little job. So I'm looking forward to this summer, just relaxing from the hustle and bustle of being at school.
What was your McPoyle name again?
Holy shit, I cannot remember.
Is it Cletus?
I don't.
No, it was
My memory doesn't go back.
It was
past 2
Craig.
days.
Craig.
Craig McPoyle.
Craig
that's right.
McPoyle.
He's gonna be Craig McPoyle this summer.
Oh yeah, I'm being Craig.
Zach, you're pretty much just working, right?
Yeah, working until the lease is up.
And
Getting those
then,
internship hours in.
yeah.
I will be opening a trap house.
Oh, really?
Dirty Dan's Trap House.
What's the quality of music do you expect? Do you expect high
There's
quality?
no trap music. It's not like actually like a dumpster dive kind of place.
Right.
It's actually like a really
Prestigious.
nice, prestigious self-care place.
Okay.
Really relaxive.
Okay.
Relaxive.
Relaxive.
As
You heard
Dirty
it here
Dan's,
first, guys.
Emporium,
Relaxive.
he can use his own words, so it doesn't really matter to him
I
what
mean,
words.
that's what language is. You just make up a bunch of words and get meaning
Right,
to
like
them.
Spaghetti Batty.
No, that's made up.
Spaghetti
There's
Batty is a very,
Arababa.
that wow.
That's racist.
How's that racist?
And more than 2 languages.
Racism is
Spaghetti
just a
Batty.
word.
That's my new word. Spaghetti Batty.
Forget
Just
about
a
it.
word or...
Yeah.
And that's it?
Yeah, racism. I can't.
Can you spell that?
You know what you said.
That doesn't have to be cut because those are direct lines from Childish Gambino, who just...
No, actually,
Childish Gambino is Donald Glover, so it's the same person.
Anyways, Danny, do you know how to tie a Colombian necktie?
that's a no. He's shaking his head no.
No.
I'm not shaking my head right now.
He's
Did you
speaking-
even
Yes,
watch
he is.
Boomerang as a child?
Are you?
Yeah.
Did you even live your life as Narcos did?
No, I lived it better.
One of the guys got killed while they were filming that.
Oh, in Mexico, right?
Yeah.
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 Holy
By like.
I mean,
shit.
Yeah. Stunt people and actors get killed. You know, it's the thing that happens.
Really?
Sucks.
Are you telling me
There was one on The
everybody
Walking
dies?
Dead set that,
No,
that
like
died
Deadpool 2
doing a
had
stunt.
a
Doing
stunt driver die.
Stunt.
Yeah.
Have you seen some of the Deadpool advertisements? They're funny as shit.
Yeah, it's
Like the advertisements
They're all
cater to
different, yeah.
the character of Deadpool, and so they're really funny. I like the ones at 7-Eleven where they make it look like he breathed on the glass and
I
then
didn't see
wrote
that
on
song.
it.
Those ads, yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I
they're
guess I'll see that. Is that at the
Yeah,
one?
I have to say...
yeah, we'll see it when we go there in a little bit.
Yeah,
after this.
I'm getting a little eager right now. Graduation is just around the corner. And
You're
I think
right.
It's time to...
You getting those butterflies?
No, I'm getting a thirst in my stomach.
Yeah, thirst. Well, I think we should quench your thirst. Danny.
Oh, yeah.
I think,
We
I
should
think
quench
you
your-
Are we going to be using our normal bleeps or Quincy's bleeps in this?
No, Quincy Bleeps was just for the episode.
Okay.
I just thought they were funny.
Man. Okay.
But if you want to do a custom bleep, you can make it now.
Well, thanks for listening to Soft Serve Podcast. I'm your...
You're not. So
I'm
bleeping
not
this
your
part.
host.
There you go.
But I'm your much loved,
Uh-huh.
You can be the closer.
much loved sweet Danny.
Yeah.
Today with us we had...
Horny.
No, I don't follow that.
Happy graduation to Quincy, Danny, and Zach.
Yep.
This is the Cookie Snatcher signing off for this semester.
This is your 11-year-old host finally signing off. I'm admitting it. I have
I
actually.
think we've all already signed
Well-
off. I think you just need to...
Well, I feel like dragging
Stop
it on,
talking.
so I'm going to. I hope you all have a wonderful graduation tomorrow, and let's go quench our
I'm getting
thirst.
a 40.
All right. Have a nice summer.
Have a nice summer.